Friday night at the Tsongas Center. Always a great atmosphere when UMass Lowell welcomes a Hockey East rival. Fresh off a bye week, the Maine Black Bears bring their legion of fans down south for a two-game road weekend. It's blue-collar hockey at its best as Maine takes on UMass Lowell. Welcome to Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Great to be back with my good friend Jim Connolly. I'm Kevin Gale. Natalie Norrie will join us ringside. Lofty expectations for Maine heading into the season, but falling short right now after dropping a pair to Providence. It's been a long bye week for the Black Bears. How can Ben Barr get his team's mindset back on the right track?
Well, he talked about focus this week. He felt like down in Providence, they had a good start the first night, lost their focus, and then it really went south from there. They need to get that back, and they're playing a hungry Lowell team that has been really good on Friday nights of late.
It's really surprising to see Maine below 500 in the league standings, despite bringing the best offense to the ice every night by goals per game. The Black Bears also feature the best scorer in the league, Justin Poirier, who's starting to look like Rookie of the Year favorite.
Yeah, Justin Poirier has become a key piece of this Maine team this season. Ben Barr calls him a natural finisher, and he's impressed by the way he's adjusted to the college game, playing with pace, competing every shift, and earning the trust in more situations as the year's gone on. In a year with a lot of big-name freshmen who have come in from the CHL, Poirier has staked his claim as one of the best scorers in the bunch. On the other side for UMass Lowell, Dylan Bentley. One player who really embodies Lowell's identity is Dylan Bentley, and Norm Bazin calls him a poster child for internal development. He's a guy who arrived first as an offensive player, but he's grown into being one of their more reliable defensive forwards. Now, he routinely takes on the opponent's top line. He leads by examples with preparation and work ethic, and he represents exactly what players can round out their game with and become complete college hockey players in this Lowell program.
UMass Lowell plays a very hard, heavy brand of hockey. Maine head coach Ben Barr said, we want to win this weekend. We've got to win the one-on-one battles in the dirty areas along the walls and right in front of the net. Good one brewing here. It's Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Maine and UMass Lowell up next. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. First of two games this weekend at the Tsongas Center between the defending champs in Hockey East from Maine and the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. I'm Kevin Gale with Jim Connolly and Natalie Norrie. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders, presented by Agnelli Law Offices, attorneys who once protected the nets, but who now protect your workers' compensation rights. Albin Boya had some of the highest expectations of any goaltender entering the season, but the Swede has fallen short in some of those capacities. Jim, how can he settle things down here late in the hockey season?
He's just got to stay, focused and relaxed, calm. I know that's easier to say said than done for a goaltender, but he's just got to get those numbers back up. A save percentage below 900, not good enough for what should be an all-league goaltender.
He's facing off tonight against a freshman from Alberta. Positionally sound goaltender, cool, calm, and collected, just like Norm Bazin, his head coach. Perfect fit here in this UMass Lowell program. Austin Elliott has been sharing some time with Samuel Richard last Saturday against BU. 2 goals against, 17 saves. Took a 3-0 loss. He's just 1-2 since New Year's Day, but this is an open competition for the starter here in Lowell.
Yeah, you almost feel like it's become a 1M1A situation, a tandem, however you want to say it. But it's been competitive all year, and I credit both right now, Elliott and Sam Richard, for really making it a difficult decision every single weekend for Norm Bazin.
Boya hitting his marks. The captain getting set to go. Thomas Friel, like David Brazil before him, does so much impressive work to lead this program. Great look from up high here at the Tsongas Center. We are working in Lowell, Mass. Great to have you tuned in to Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Just 7 weeks left to go in the regular season, and these games start feeling bigger and bigger, especially for Maine, sitting just 7th in the league despite a top 20 ranking nationwide. Down low it goes behind Austin Elliott. Little check behind the cage. Jay Ahern paid the price there for the Riverhawks. This is a game that will be won around the edges of the rink here in Lowell. Two teams that if you have to face them in a one-and-done situation, Jimmy, they can create a lot of problems. They make you earn it.
It's what would scare me the most about the postseason in Hockey East, knowing that it is a single elimination playoff. These are two teams that they have all of the components to steal games.
Maine already has a victory against UMass Lowell this season. It came back in December. Neutral site game in Portland, Maine. That was all about the power play. The Black Bears 3 for 6 on the man advantage as that one whizzes through the blue. Sully Sholey trying the tough angle. Parks blazing out from his own end. It's outnumbered by the Black Bears. Ben Barr, head coach for Maine, said, we've got to be better 5-on-5 in this game. We can't rely on the power play like we did in the first meeting. Sholey again just trying to probe around TJ Schweigart, one of the best defenders in the league, also an assist leader for UMass Lowell. He's become a great two-way player, Jim.
Yeah, tried to find Lee Parks there through the middle. Couldn't connect on that pass right there. That would have been a breakaway.
Slow, methodical start to this game. No pressure applied here by UMass Lowell. Norm Bay's squad content to let the Black Bears climb the ladder. Popped out of the air by Austin Elliott in net. Set up on a tee. Black Bears can't retrieve. UMass Lowell trying to break out for the first time. Little room for Libor Nemec. Got walled off on his way down the rink. Usoro there first. A lot of freshman talent on the ice. Whole lot of newcomers for UMass Lowell again this season. Forehand chance in the slot. That one fell right on the stick of Poirier, our player to watch, Hockey East goals leader.
That's a dangerous player to leave alone in the slot. Quick job right there by the defense to mark him.
Marcus tries to play it around for Maine. Put it right on the stick of Dallin Wakely, a smart freshman. Part of that whole group of newcomers for Norm Bay's. Second straight year he's brought in 15 new players, and he said we're getting used to it because frankly so many other programs have had to do it as well.
It's become the norm between the transfer portal and
Pun intended.
Yeah, right, yes. But that is the reality of how you have to coach now and how you have to build rosters.
Nearly a great stretch pass to Diego Buttazzoni, UMass Lowell. One of the two brothers. His brother Mirko has been out 3 weeks now since suffering injury against UConn, top returner in assists, team rookie of the year last year. So UMass Lowell's had to fill some spots. There's a nice clean check by David Adesinski. He's been moonlighting in Connor Eddy's spot. Connor Eddy out with a suspension this weekend. Teed up a shot. That one goes wide off the stick of Jeremy Langlois. 2022 picked by Arizona, now Utah in the NHL. Hard breaks out of the corner. Komarov trying to carve out some space. Diego Buttazzoni with the active stick. Popped it free. Picked up by Thomas Friel, who levels a check. That one through traffic again. Maine trying from all angles just to spark some movement out of Austin Elliott, who's so positionally sound. Tap back to the point. Good possession here for Maine. Scoreless early. Shot through traffic. That one deflected over the crossbar.
A lot of bodies in front right there.
Friel, drop pass. Tough angle off the outside of the net. Nice idea by Jurasevich. Keeps the possession for the Black Bears. Skips a pass to his captain. Friel, swing and a miss. Lost it out of the zone. Maine has to regroup, but keeps possession. Right back in. Friel alone. Denied. Late closeout by Josh Morey. Great defending by the freshman.
That's a very good attempt there to close a gap, and Morey had to get there because Friel got back into the zone with a step.
Norm Bay's said, I don't say this lightly, but if Josh Morey keeps showing up every day with his kind of prep, he's going to be second to none in this program. That's a lot of praise for a guy who's putting in the extra work, and Bay's loves guys that commit long term. Albin Boya gives it away. Tough angle shot. And then nearly dunked in out front. That was Chris Delaney who deferred to Ahern. Now a chance for UMass Lowell. Payne drives it in deep. Hard around onto the stick of Ahern. Sizzles it back around the boards. Payne tried to retrieve. Dominic Payne, the transfer from Canisius. Nice addition along the blue line. Out of his reach. Long stretch without a whistle here. Jimmy, this is a lot like what we saw last weekend between UVM and UConn. That game went 10-07 without a whistle. We finished the first period just blowing through commercial timeouts.
That was a crazy little sequence. But when you have two teams like this Lowell team, like this Maine team, you can go back to Connecticut and Vermont. They were very disciplined, so you don't have a lot of penalties. If you play a clean game, you don't take too many offsides and icings, you'll go without whistles for long periods.
UMass Lowell trying to break out now, scoreless. Less than 15 minutes to go in the opening period. Puck possession dominated by Maine, and the Black Bears have it again, trying to execute a 3-on-2. Slowly into the zone. That was Kill Cullen stopping the break. Cross-ice feed. Riverhawks funneling the offense through Shipley and giving away again. Couple loose passes here for the Riverhawks, trying to gain the zone. And now a 2-on-1 for the Black Bears. Wrist shot saved by Elliott. Sent Peluso into the corner. And out it goes to neutral ice, but off a whistle will freeze it with 13:42 to go in the first period. Let's step aside. Maine with a couple quality chances, but we are knotted up at nothing apiece. You're watching Friday Night Hockey East on NESN.
Welcome back inside the Tsongas Center. Natalie Norrie here with you. Scoreless early in the first, and as we mentioned earlier in this period, Riverhawk Connor Eddy still remains out of the lineup this weekend after an on-ice altercation last Friday with a Boston University player that resulted in him being disqualified for the following game, but then the league tacked on a 2-game suspension in effect this weekend. Now, Norm Bazin was not happy with this call at all. He was telling us this week 2 kids got into a disagreement. That's what it was, and that's all it was. He said the fact that they added, anything more than 1 game is ludicrous in my mind. This happens in every other level of hockey aside from college, so it is what it is, and we move on, Kevin.
All right, thanks so much, Natalie. That was a really barbed quote from Norm Bazin, who's been in this game a long time. He was unhappy with the decision that came down from the league, but league commissioner Steve Metcalf took a strong stance. He said what took place Friday was entirely unacceptable. It is rare to see a commissioner quote in a suspension release like that, Jimmy. It's clear that Commissioner Metcalf wanted to say, we don't want this to spill over with any other teams.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that it felt like a staged fight. 2 players in the box immediately coming out and then the fight happening. That, I think, is what really got the extra suspension.
It has forced Connor Eddy into the stands. He is here watching at the Tsongas Center this weekend. Boy, they could really use him in the mix as they try to get their offense going. No score here, less than 13 minutes to go in the first period. Here's a race for a loose puck. Prodded free by Peluso, got a chance, then fed in front for a goal. Maine leads 1-0 on the road.
Great job staying with this play for the Black Bears. The initial save made by Austin Elliott, it was the ability to stay with this. Nice save there right away, but then knowing you have a second player coming in back, that's Brock James, 4th line center, follows up the attempt by Peluso, and then Peluso finds Brock James, buries it into the open net. Maine, they're not only ahead 1-0, they have an 11-1 shot edge early here in this game. They are dominating right from the start.
It is officially a Brock James goal, the first of his collegiate career. Congratulations to the freshman from Falmouth, Maine. An unforgettable night. Now UMass Lowell looking to answer on the wraparound chance. Sent into the corner off the stick of Jay Ahern. Off the pipe! What a shot that was by Ahern.
That one might have left a dent in the pipe.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Tsongas. A dirty goal by Maine and nearly an answer by UMass Lowell. And so often, Jim, when you're playing these 2 teams, those are the types of dirty area goals you need, like we just saw from Brock James. That's the way to get the first of your career.
You know, I think when you think about this Maine team, they can score many different ways, and transition's one of their best ways. That was a transition goal, but it also had a little bit of that actual work ethic that has to go with it. Ability to follow up and get the rebound and center it. So we look at that Jay Ahern chance off the post. Boy, he had a lot of room there to the right of Alvin Boyer. Tried to pick the edge, beat the goaltender cleanly, but got stopped by Metal.
Been a tough uphill climb for UMass Lowell this season when giving up the first goal. Just 1-11-0. Their offense is methodical, slow developing. They're better sitting on leads than trying to come back and win hockey games. Riverhawks trying to get out and fly here off the right wing side. Hard hit. Dominic Ravelli chasing here. Trying to hit back against Justin Poirier, who's just been named a Hobie Baker nominee. Leads D1 rookies with 28 points this season. What a pickup he's been for Ben Barr in Maine.
There's been so much made out of some of these major junior players, and he was not one of the names you heard before the season. Coming into the season, he has done it all on the ice in his performance.
Had some big shoes to fill. Lost goal leaders Harrison Scott, Taylor McCarr, who's made his NHL debut with his brother playing for the Avs. Pushed down deep into the main zone. On the back end, Brandon Chabrier, great experience on that blue line for Ben Barr. Looking for an outlet pass. Riverhawks get sticks in passing lanes again. Gun things up in the neutral zone and wander off sides. McDonald's chance denied for now. 10:08 to go in the first period. Maine has drawn first blood, and that's so critical coming off a 2-game road skid against Providence and then 2 whole weeks to think about it. That can be tough for a team just desperate to get back out there and build momentum.
I can guarantee that that bus ride back from Providence, a very difficult one, and then the desire just to play somebody besides your own teammates on the ice. You just want to get back at it. Somehow you want to throw a big hit. I expected a fast start by Maine here. Thought maybe it would be more physical, but 13 shots here in the first 10 minutes and a goal. That's certainly a good first fast start as well.
Setting a tone after getting outscored 9-1 in that 2-game disaster down at Providence College. Maine trying to double up the lead. Swing and a miss. Deflected high out of the air. Took a funny hop off Komarov's stick. Now a board battle developing here. Kilcullen pressed his man against the wall. Shot came in from the point. Komarov at a stick joust. Got it away from Dylan Bentley. Bentley, the goal-scoring leader for UMass Lowell, forced to defend long stretches here in this first period. Less than 10 minutes to go in the opening frame. Another failed outlet there. Bentley's got some room. Left the puck at the red line. UMass Lowell stuck again at neutral ice. This is the top line out there. Ahern, Bentley, and Delaney.
Riverhawks having a hard time getting up ice clean.
Credit out of the air by Bentley, trying to swing it through traffic, and Diego Bonazzoni, nice dangle shot, blocked down by Boya, and he covers. Quality chance for UMass Lowell, but Maine's got the lead, 1-0 with 9:06 to go in the first period. An unforgettable game for the Mainer. Brock James cleaning up the loose change in front to give the Black Bears an advantage. One 0 lead for Maine here at UMass Lowell. Last time these teams got together, Cross Insurance Arena in Portland, and this was a goal scorer's affair. 5-4 win for the Black Bears in overtime. Scored 3 of those goals on the power play, 6 in a row for Ben Barr's team over UMass Lowell. What lessons did they learn there that they can carry here into the rematch?
Well, I think it was, never giving up. They fell behind a number of times in that game and just had the resilience. They kept fighting. And when you're able to execute on special teams that well in a game, I mean, that became a real storyline, the fact that Maine scored 3 times on the power play.
Warren Bazin said this is a team that certainly pressures the puck, just like his group, but said we're getting used to that. Mankato, St. Cloud, BU, you name it. All the teams on the schedule have made puck possession difficult for UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell with a chance now. 2-on-1 developing. Bonazzoni trying to wrist a shot, played it in front. Great diving effort by Brandon Holt to blow up the play.
Such a smart play there, reading it, knowing that there was no option except to pass. Just got on the ice, Holt took away the pass.
Boya wisely vacuums here, holding tight to that far pipe as the crowd starts to gather at the top of this crease.
One of the best opportunities for the Riverhawks coming up ice. You know you have the odd man rush here, but the entire way, Holt understood what the options were in laying out, selling out. He also allowed Lucas Peterson to get back into that play, not allow that puck to get over to Dallin Wakely. No shot off of an odd man rush. That's frustrating for a coach.
Superb play by the North Dakota native Brandon Holt, who's been more of an offensive D-man throughout his career, but playing in all situations defensively and has really set a standard for his younger teammates. It's like So many teams around Hockey East are younger than ever this year, and experience pays major dividends. Friel is one of those experienced players for Maine. Got trapped at the red line, and UMass Lowell has the possession again. Last weekend, UMass Lowell split a weekend home and home against a top 20 BU team. One game won on the road 4-3 in overtime. Good resilience by the Riverhawks. Second game, another great Norm Bazin quote. We had effort, but no execution. Lost 3-0. Batted out of the air by Austin Elliott. That'll go for a face-off. Go beyond with Service Credit Union. From free checking to high rate savings. Learn more at servicecu.org. So UMass Lowell sitting at 5-8 in the standings, tied with New Hampshire and UMass. Bottom half of the league, still 7 weeks to go here, Jimmy. Where can Norm Bazin's team go here to try to find some offense and climb the ladder?
Well, it's the consistency. If you can come out of weekends in Hockey East with 4 or more points, you're usually gaining significantly. And if you get a 6-point week, that really goes a long way. So it's finding ways to get that second win. You know, they won the opener the last 3 Friday nights, lost the back end on the Saturday night. So they've got to find a way to get more consistent.
And that's a huge flip of the script, because in the first half, UMass Lowell was really bad on Friday nights. And Jimmy, when you reminded Norm of that on our call, he said, hey, thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot. James flings it in from the point. Elliott banged it out of the air with his glove. Took a funny hop off the side of the pipe. Stick goes flying near side, broken in half. UMass Lowell with the possession. Looking for breakout options here. Jay Ahern flips it ahead. Delaney got it to his forehand, and Boya is taking no chances here in the first period. Quick to force the draw.
He should, because his team is one of the better face-off teams out there, especially in Hockey East. Third among Hockey East teams, 22nd in the country in draws, so 51%. This has been a decent Maine team in the face-off circle this season.
Conversely, it's been a struggle for UMass Lowell on the draw this season. Only 7th best in league, right around their standings in the league. In close-fought games, Jimmy, think of face-offs as must-have, especially late in your own zone.
Yeah, that's, and that's for Norm Bazin teams that haven't watched him and his teams for so long. That's an area they usually take pride in. So to see them struggling with face-offs is somewhat surprising.
Poirier leading the break, drops the pass back, swing and a miss. Poke checked away from Miguel Marcus, the freshman, a Nashville pick, who tried to get a second chance, and now a breakout again for Poirier. Outnumbered here, waiting for Marcus. A lot of young talent here. Marcus flings it to Holt, swing and a miss. Couple rubber sticks here in the first period on Maine chances to double up the lead. Songus Center crowd sitting in their seats. Haven't had much to cheer about yet. Maine with a 1-0 lead to open this weekend tilt on the road. Great step there by Russell. Got the possession at his own blue line for Maine. Langlois. Fed in by Fowler. Throws a check in the corner. Langlois gets out of there clean. One of 10 freshmen getting better, getting more stability here in the second half of the season. Norm Bazin said this on our call this week, Jimmy. They're not freshmen anymore. Players at this point in the season already feel like sophomores.
Yeah, you have to be able to adjust. And this year, with the CHL players coming in, we've seen different types of adjustment. You don't see a lot of players that come from the major junior game with that type of number of games played. USHL, it's somewhat comparable, but I still think it's a little bit different. So it's been an adjustment this year.
It's a practice league, according to these coaches. They have to learn to really bring the competition in practice. All those drills matter because you're only playing games on weekends for the most part, as opposed to let's say the USHL, where your games are strung out a little bit more and practices aren't as intense. A couple players hung up behind the cage. Jaden Moriello gets back to his feet for the Riverhawks. Less than 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. I'm Kevin Gale with Jim Connolly and Natalie Norrie. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson. Great to have you tuned in. Longtime league rivals, blue-collar hockey teams who talk so much about skill and connectivity over just raw talent. Here's great skill into the zone. Shot. Boya knocked it down, couldn't find the rebound. Diego Buttazzoni Kept the puck moving for the Riverhawks. Good pass to the middle, but Azzoni walked it in, and Boya covers again. Now here's some pushing and shoving after the play. Chances on both ends here in the first period, but still a 1-0 advantage for Maine as tempers start to heat up between the Black Bears and the Riverhawks. Hockey East on Nessun is brought to you in part by Boston Children's Museum. Visit Boston Children's Museum today, the official children's museum of Hockey East. Friday night Hockey East on Nessun, 1-0 lead for Maine here at UMass Lowell, 4:27 to go in the first period. Boy, Norm Bay Zen's team certainly loves Friday night Hockey East on Nessun. Look at that record since New Year's Day, 3-0 on Fridays, then Saturday. Not so good, Jim.
Yeah, it's a stark comparison. I mean, their Fridays have been excellent, which shows they're starting the weekend on time, and that was an issue the first half of the season. They were bouncing back a lot. The irony is they played a lot of road games on Saturday in the first half, a lot of road games on Friday in the second half. So their home record right now just has not been very good. So the Lowell faithful have not been rewarded a lot here at Tsongas this year.
For the most part, UMass Lowell's just been a better team in the second half of this season. Learned from their first half failure. 6-11-0 overall going into the long holiday break. And so often, Jim, for young teams like UMass Lowell with 15 newcomers, those breaks are most valuable because kids have their heads spinning. Classes,
yes, practice,
new responsibilities can be a lot, especially for the rookies.
Yeah, when you're talking about that many new faces in a room, I think that is really the biggest reality that a freshman faces.
Wakely flying in and lost out on a poke check from Lucas Peterson. USHL product, 06 birth year. Oh man, these kids are young. Now here's a break. Gerrois, backhand over the top. Austin Elliott came out to challenge from his UMass Lowell net. And again, Maine with more shots, more chances, better looks at the cage here in the first period. Neski through his own legs, got turned off the puck, kept it into the corner. Indirect pass, intercepted by Peterson. Back-ended by Schweigart for the Riverhawks. Payne was clapping his stick on the ice, looking for the pass through center. Out of the circle, Jacob McDonald tossed down to the ice. Rainbow flip out of the zone by Maine. Really clipped off the scoreboard here at the Tsongas Center. Good crowd on a Friday night at Tsongas. Second best attendance in Hockey East all season long, behind only Boston College, which is loaded with Bruins prospects again. 2:31 to go in the frame. We get a whistle here, and tough to see much difference between Maine and UMass Lowell in the first period, Jim, except for that goal from Brock James when he took that loose puck out front and buried it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these two teams do have a lot of similarities in the way they play. They're both heavier teams, and that's just a similarity that makes it really difficult to find ice. You know that every time you touch the puck, somebody from the opposition is going to be right there in your face, and we've seen that a lot, especially Maine in the defensive zone when Lowell's trying to get the opportunities. The Black Bears have done a really good job of taking away that time and space.
That's why Ben Barr tells his team, especially this young group, match the Maine work ethic. Defensive zone, loose pucks in the corners, everywhere. He truly believes he can't out-talent anyone. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore with the talent that Ben Barr has brought in, but he has set a standard from day one about never being outworked, and that's why some of the mismatched results this season have frustrated him. Schweigart got taken down, and a giveaway. Poirier, great feed in front, nearly finished off by Marcus. Nice idea by Poirier, deferred the chance. That one goes up into the bench around the longtime head coach Norm Bazin, now in his 15th year guiding the Riverhawks.
Really good look here in front for Maine. Take advantage of the turnover, and then three Black Bears bearing down on the net, but nobody really could connect here. These are the guys you want with a puck, too. You're talking about Poirier and Marcus and Max Scott out there. So you had a real big third line on paper, but I think this is that's probably the most talented line for this Black Bears team bearing down.
Phil Cullen trying to take that pass away in front. Really banked it in. Less than 2 minutes to go in the opening frame. UMass Lowell trying to answer. Here's Savage off his own end for Maine. Backhand flip out of the zone. He's trading possession here. Up it goes through Charlie Russell. Good pull and a shot stopped by Elliott. Russell gets the miss out of the corner. Russell moved to the top line when Josh Nadeau was hurt. Nadeau out of the mix again this weekend. Quote from Ben Barr just saying he's not with us. And that's all he would say as Boya gloves it out of the air. So a bit of a surprise there when Ben Barr says one of our better scoring options is not with us, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we kind of pressed, but didn't. You can kind of read when a coach doesn't want to say too much more. We're not sure exactly where Ben Barr was going. It could be just a plain old injury, but it's a big player not to have in the lineup in Nadeau.
Ben Barr now in his 5th year. What a makeover of this Maine program. The passion was always there. Great commitment from fans and alums. Just needed to get things back on track, and he did it last year as Hockey East Tournament champs. First since '04, first non-Massachusetts champs since '04, as we have a tie-up and a tripping call here with less than a minute to go in the first period. It's Bichette going away for Maine.
Maine number 29, minor penalty for tripping.
So Thomas Bichette, 2 minutes for tripping. So the power play for the Riverhawks will get a chance here. It's right in the center zone, just got tied up with Schweikart. Schweikart goes down, the arm goes up. Lowell's power play clicking about just under 20%, 19.1%, 7th in Hockey East. The penalty kill for Maine. It's 10th in Hockey East, but just like Maine, just like Lowell, 5 shorthanded goals. Both of these teams really dangerous in the shorthand as well as the power play.
Special teams decided the first matchup between these teams back in December. Big advantage for Maine on the power play. UMass Lowell trying to flip the momentum here and get back to level. 5-on-4 go the Riverhawks. 37 seconds to go in the first period. Off the half wall, Ahern plays it down low. A lot of letters out here on the power play. Experienced leaders for Norm Bay's-End squad. Back and forth, Delaney and Ahern. Delaney off the goal line. Varwork feeds it high slot. Payne. Shot blocked. Right back onto the stick of Owen Fowler, who plays it down. The UMass Lowell transfer who got the overtime game winner in that Portland game December 10th. His grand return to Songus. Langlois will take us to the first intermission for Maine. Still 1:04 to go on that UMass Lowell power play when we return in the second period, but it's a 1-0 lead for the Black Bears after Brock James scored at the 7:40 mark in the first period. Peluso with the assist, his second point of his freshman campaign, and a first career goal in D1 for Brock James, the Mainer, in a game he will never forget. Coming up on the Boston Children's Hospital Intermission Report, an interview with the goal scorer, Brock James, Hockey East Men's Plays of the Week, and highlights and stats with me and Jim. Speaking of Brock James, he is standing alongside Natalie Norton.
Well, Brock, that was quite the goal. You would have thought it was a home goal the way this place erupted. Maine certainly travels well, but what does it mean to get your first career goal here tonight?
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment. I mean, it's a great play from my teammate, Nick Peluso. Unreal feed, and just, yeah, happy to get the first one.
Yeah, a little more about that. How did you read that? When Nick made the jump at the blue line there, how did your instincts take over and know where to go?
I mean, he's a fast player. I kind of knew he was going to beat their defenseman, and he made a nice move on the goalie. Didn't go in, so kind of just followed up to the net, and, you know, he put it out front and tapped it home.
Your coach was telling us this week it's important to win the one-on-one battles and to own the ice here tonight. How do you keep doing that in the second period?
You know, we just follow the game plan, get the puck in, go to work, and just make plays from below the dots, and get to the net.
Brock, congrats on the goal.
Thank you.
Just a 6th career D1 game for Brock James, and he's already got the interview down pat. Good addition to Friday night Hockey East on Nesson. 1-0 lead for the 17th ranked Black Bears, but the Riverhawks are on the power play when we come back in the second. Stay with us. Plenty more to come on the Boston Children's Hospital Intermission Report. Friday night Hockey East on Nesson brings us inside the Tsongas Center here in Lowell, Mass. The UMass Lowell faithful, not much to cheer about in the first period. 1-0 lead for the Maine Black Bears and their big road contingent down south for the weekend. Let's look at the first period highlights and stats. Shots on goal, in favor of Maine. Face-offs, in favor of Maine. Power play, that's ongoing into the second period. Only one thing really working there for UMass Lowell, stepping in front of shots, and they prevented the lead from doubling up.
Well, the product of a lot of blocks is usually that you spend too much time in your defensive zone, and that was the case for the Riverhawks in that period. They did not have the pushback to Maine. That face-off number is really surprising. 11 out of 14 draws won by the Black Bears, and you notice it on the penalty kill. That was a big part of that penalty kill at the end of the period. They won the first draw. Lowell never got anything set up in the zone after that. So Lowell has to get better in the face-off circle as this game goes on.
Brock James' first goal of his Division I career, an unforgettable night for the Mainer. 1-0 lead here on the road for Maine. Plenty more to come in the Boston Children's Hospital intermission report. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to Tsongas right after this. Period in the books. 1-0 lead for Maine on the road here at UMass Lowell. Good back and forth action here early, Jim, but then Maine started grabbing the puck possession and generating better chances.
Yeah, and this goal here really is about winning the foot race and then staying with the play, and that's a really nice play by Nick Peluso. Not just to, make the pass, but he stayed with it after he was stopped. And the Riverhawks had some good looks, and you saw that Ahern one off the post. That was right after the goal. But I didn't think that the Riverhawks had a ton of space out there on the ice, and that's credit to Maine and their defense. They've got to try to find a way to get up ice a little bit faster, get through the neutral zone cleaner, and certainly limit these types of opportunities for the Black Bears at the other end.
Austin Elliott was a good backstop for UMass Lowell in the first period. 10 saves. Go against that one goal against on a great pass from Peluso out front to Brock James. Home ice disadvantage, been a bit of a storyline for UMass Lowell this season. Finally figured out their Friday woes, but now just trying to figure out what to do in front of a rabid crowd of Riverhawk fans who haven't had enough offense to cheer for.
And that's what it is. If you look at it, Kevin, 1.5 goals at home, 2.9 on the road. That's doubling up goals right there, straight out. Everything else looks relatively the same. The power play is the big difference as well. They do seem to convert pretty well away from the Tsongas. But, I've talked to Norm Bazin over the years about this, and they've been a very good team in his career here at the Tsongas, but he also admits there's distractions at home. You have people asking for tickets, you have girlfriends, you have families. You don't have that on the road. When you get away, you really are away, and sometimes those distractions go away with you.
Inconsistency has been such a storyline across college hockey and all college sports the last couple seasons. We talked to a lot of coaches around the country, and Norm Bazin has echoed their sentiments. He said, some of that inconsistency used to drive me mad, but then I realized this season I've got enough gray hair already. So we're going to let these young players learn from their mistakes. We're going to live in some of their failures. And sometimes he's even gone as far as to put some young players in the stands to let them watch and learn from their older teammates. We did have a first-time appearance tonight and a rookie lap for UMass Lowell hockey. Ryan Kroll, welcome aboard. His last goal scored back in 2022, making his first appearance from Plainville, Illinois. Jimmy, how special is a rookie lap like this?
Well, it's so different because you don't have it in college, because usually all your rookies are playing their first game right around the same time in October. But you have a player coming in at the break. I can actually remember when Mikhail Yegorov came in for his first game for BU last year, was at the break, right after the break, came out against Boston College, got a penalty for coming on and taking a rookie lap too early. BC scored the only goal of the game on the power play right afterwards. Lowell coordinated a little bit better here today, making sure that Ryan Kroll did not get the ire of the officials for coming out too soon.
Boy, UMass Lowell would love if Ryan Kroll is as impactful as Big Mike was last season, jumping in net for BU, helping lead that team all the way to the Frozen Four. That was a visa nightmare, just trying to get the Russian into the country. Right. They had to route him through another country, and finally he landed at BU, and He's gone through some of his own struggles this season, but settling things down for a top 20 BU team that took 1 of 2 from UMass Lowell last weekend. Second period is underway. Fresh ice sheet here at the Songus Center, and power play time continues. 56 seconds left to go on that minor penalty to Thomas Pichette for a trip late in the first period. UMass Lowell's power play unable to set up here, only 7th best in Hockey East this season. Some good looks against BU last weekend, but a disallowed goal really killed the momentum for this group. Nearly fired out of the zone, kept in. Good pinch there by the Riverhawks. Reeled in by Dallin Wakely. Spins it outside. Feed over the top. Shipley uncorked a shot into the mesh. 24 seconds to go, 5-on-4.
And zone entries are becoming an issue here for the Riverhawks in this power play. Just getting in clean, and then once you are establishing yourselves and finding what you want for your looks throughout the zone, a lot of that's the credit to Maine and their penalty killers. They hold their form very, very well. They don't give you a lot of looks, and they do try to take away some of those passing and shooting lanes.
Michaud coaching the PK unit for Maine. Successful clear here. It's when they're not aggressive enough that Maine PK unit gets in trouble. Chabrier whips it down the ice. This should exhaust the final seconds of the Pichette penalty. Delaney misses the feed. Rims it all the way around to the big Dylan Bentley at 6'4". Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Miskey, block shot. Russell keeps it. Feeds Pichette, fresh out of the box. Shot up off the goaltender, Austin Elliott, and played down for an icing.
That was a good heads-up play right there at the point after that puck had been lost by Miskey to recenter himself and the ability to get back into the play. Right there, that block right there, it doesn't lose himself in the play. Miskey gets back on the defensive side and then able to settle things down. So often you see that mistake at the point and then get a little flat-footed from the D-man, and it's off to the races the other way.
7 more blocks for the Black Bears in this game, 331 this season. That's the most dating back to 2017. So the Black Bears, despite combining the best scoring offense in the league with the most blocked shots in the last 9 years, find themselves 6 and 7 in league. Ben Barr's been frustrated with the roller coaster ride in wins and losses. Komarov, nice handles through neutral ice. Feeds it to Marcus, who was crashing in front. Played into the corner. Maine can't corral it. And away go the Riverhawks, looking for that leveling goal here in the second period. David Adazinski, freshman from British Columbia. Got pinned up against the glass by Peterson. Run around on the backhand underneath the stick of Langlois. Marcus presses it up to the point. Riverhawks looking for angles to shoot. That one stayed in the rink high off the glass. McDonald played to no one. Kilcullen was there. Now Miskey with some space. Off bodies in front. Stick goes flying in front. Peterson without his weapon. Little 5-on-4 chance now for the Riverhawks. Working around that broken stick debris. Kilcullen off the half wall. Trying to shovel it down low. Peterson using his hands, not his stick. That's a good way to avoid a stick penalty. Langlois showing some physicality in the corner. Riverhawks circling here. Good poke there by Oscar Komarov for Maine. Up high. McDonald flings it. That one took a funny hop out toward neutral ice, and Riverhawks have to regroup again.
Nothing to show for it, but that was the best cycling and zone time of the game for the Riverhawks.
Diego Buttazzoni trying to get that cycle going again. Pass intended for Shipley, had to play it off the wall. James with a takeaway. Slowed by Parks out of the zone and backed up by Boya. Barely said Albin Boya's name the last 8 to 10 minutes of game action. Diego Buttazzoni with the takeaway. Fed in front. Nemec picked it up behind. Weak on his shot. Pushed out to the point. Shipley kept it in. Now down low it goes.
Gotta give this Maine D really doing a good job of taking away the lanes. Every time Lowell looks for that pass, there's a stick in the way.
Puck goes out of play. Let's check in downstairs with Natalie Norrie.
Thanks, Kevin. Lowell's associate head coach Andy Boschetto caught up with us just before the team returned to the ice, and he brought up 2 points of emphasis this period: forecheck and face-offs. That's something you and Jimmy have talked about quite a bit up top. He says we got to get more on top of them, get the puck up the ice, get on the forecheck more, have cleaner zone entries. He did say with the face-offs, we got to be getting our wings involved too. Maine has been getting inside. We need to work with our wings, and that's definitely a point of emphasis this period and going forward, Kevin.
UMass Lowell always happy to go into those 50-50 battles, which can be a chore, but looking for some more aggressiveness here from their forwards, who definitely need to be more proactive now to generate some scoring.
Yeah, and I love what he said. It's a center is not the responsible party on a draw. Every one of the players, especially all three forwards, have to be part of winning draws.
It's a team stat more than anything. It looks so individual in the stat chart. And so far, it's all Maine, 12-6 advantage at the dot. Still 1-0 Maine here in the second period. Good puck possession time in the O-zone. Schweighardt walks it in, lost it. Scholey popped it free, but only for a moment. Another good cycle here by the Riverhawks. Delaney going down deep. Flipped up into the mesh, and we'll get another face-off in front of Albin Boya.
You can see that the cycle is starting for the Riverhawks. They're finding time in the zone, in the offensive zone. What it hasn't created, though, is the opportunities in front. They're not getting the puck into the shooting areas. That's the next challenge for this Lowell team, is finding some of those quiet areas to get those shots off. Every time they've had the puck, you've had a Black Bear pretty much right in the face.
Feels like when UMass Lowell has been at its best under Norm Bayzen, they just manufacture offense. They find ways to keep pucks and generate those chances in front. Nothing flashy. This one batted off the shoulder of the Riverhawks and finally played out. Little breathing room now for Maine. And taken away, Komarov nearly works his own chance. D-to-D pass, the captain off the blue line. That one's deflected straight up off the stick of Brandon Holt and will freeze it for another face-off.
That's the first time that Maine has had possession in their zone with an offensive look in a few minutes. Credit to the Riverhawks for controlling some of the play here early in the second.
Eastern Propane and Oil is proud to partner with Hockey East to support youth hockey throughout New England. Visit HockeyEastOnline.com to get your youth team featured on social media and a chance to win Hockey East tickets. 15:08 to go in the second period. Here inside the Songus Center. Friday night Hockey East on Nesson. I'm Kevin Gale with my good friend Jim Connolly and my pal Natalie Norrie downstairs. Always great to be teamed up with this group and the outstanding production crew here at UMass Lowell. Very disjointed second period so far. A lot of stoppages, a lot of stops and starts after long stretches of whistleless action in the first. Here's a little chance for McDonald. Played around Albin Boya. Scott off his own end of the sheet for the Black Bears. With a good travel contingent as always. Played into the zone, Varwerk dangles, pulls it out front, stopped by Boya. Great individual effort by Jack Varwerk, and then Albin Boya erased the chance.
Yeah, that was a little stick handle in a phone booth right there by Jack Varwerk to get around the defender here. Just a quick toe drag around the defender, but then at that point you're on your backhand, you're too close into the goaltender, unable to really make any more of a play. But that is a nice little dangle there by Varwerk. He's a player that Norm Bayzen just can't praise enough. He loves the effort that Varwerk brings night in, night out.
He had a goal and an assist in that 4-3 overtime win at BU last Friday. More proof of concept for these Riverhawks. When they get the offense cooking, they are a really tough out in Hockey East. They need to score 3 goals per game. They are winless this season when they settle for 2 goals or less.
They showed that game against BU. They can score in bunches, and when they get that going, that really can change a game.
Thomas Friel goes down to his belly, worked it in deep for Maine. There's another takeaway. Diego Buttazone's played some great hockey here early. Nemeth lost out to Chabrier, then a little help from the Riverhawks crashing through. Boya got the glove on Dallin Wakely's shot.
Now we're seeing Lowell get up ice with some speed. That's one of their first good transitions through the neutral zone, and they get a drop pass that results in a good shot. This is what we're seeing from the Riverhawks. We needed to see this here as this second period begins. Look at this move here, just a quick move off the boards, but then once you're in that position, Wakely able to get that shot off. Want some traffic in front of the net, but as long as you're starting to get the opportunities and finding some of that speed through the neutral zone, that's what Lowell is looking for.
Wakely's certainly been playing with more confidence. He had 3 of his 5 goals in a hat trick earlier this season against St. Lawrence. Another player, if he can heat up, things will go well for the Riverhawks as Boyas shows off some of his elite rebound control. When he's been his best, Jim, things are very undramatic for the Black Bears. 13:58 to go in the second period. It is still Maine in front by 1 here at UMass Lowell. Still plenty of time left. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Nothing deficit here in the second period. Dominic Payne, great addition from Canisius in the AHA. He is a young player, but has shown great growth. Not as young as these young players in the stands. They were loving the 6'7" cam during the Boston Children's Hospital intermission.
I'm old enough that I do not want to see a 6'7" cam.
I feel like that should have been left in 2025. Rare face-off win here for the Riverhawks. Good shot off the draw by Morey, who's been trending upward for Norm Bazin's squad. He was very complimentary of a lot of these young players. Another kick save off Morey's shot. Maine rallies to the puck again through the captain down the middle. Co-leader in Hockey East assists. He's got 15 this season. Great feed and a stop by Austin Elliott. Sliding from side to side, and he gets jostled here after the whistle.
Nice job there by Elliott. Stays with the play. That's a hard save to make as you're in motion, but he's pushing off his right skate. Stays with the play. Able to make that save on Charlie Russell, the Clarkson transfer.
Elliott, big upside. One of those young players who had to learn to bring the momentum in every single practice. He's had a good battle going against a guy who's been called a battler, Samuel Richard. Senior from Quebec, a little less predictable, a little more acrobatic in his position, but so often, Jim, you ask these coaches, how do you decide between styles, momentum, what's working best? They never tell us.
It's usually just a gut. I think so often coaches just have to go with their gut feeling when it comes to goaltenders. I think a hockey coach sometimes envies a baseball coach in that the starting rotation's a little bit more set.
Take some of the drama away. Although there's always drama because Norm Bazin is never going to tell you who's going on Friday or Saturday or any night for that matter.
I was glad you asked this week, though. You almost got an answer.
Good saucer pass out front. Tough turn there for Langlois out of the corner. Played it far side. Jurasevich crisscrossing. Feeds up high. Errant on the pass. Back to Jurasevich off the blue line. Kick saved by Austin Elliott. He was down in the crouch. Schweighardt tries to flip it through Miskey. Miskey indirect out of the zone. That worked. Maine right back on it. Miskey and Marcus looking for that 50-50 puck. Board battle's so critical when these teams get together. Varwork went down, gave it up to Maine. Chabrier forced out wide. Good defending there by Adazinski. Cross corner pass, nobody there. Maine keeps it in the zone. Pass behind Chabrier, and that cost the Black Bears. Somehow Marcus got to that puck first behind the cage. Good rally here by Maine, sending numbers to the puck. Poirier, leading scorer in the league, pushed out toward neutral ice.
Oh, great defensive play by Poirier. Not a position on the ice that he's really used to being in at the blue line there. Turns the puck over, but able to get back defensively. make sure that there was nothing heading up ice for the Riverhawks. Little bobble right there. You're up at the point, you're a forward, and you're a really offensive-minded forward, but a nice play there. Really resets at center ice, says Poirier there.
Oh, David Hadasinski's eyes had to be so wide.
Sure. But unfortunately, that's a great sign of responsibility for a young player who's got a lot of high offensive talent in Poirier.
Hadasinski just one goal in his first 17 collegiate games. Would have loved a second there. Saw first career goal tonight. Brock James, the Mainer, back in the first period, gave the Black Bears the 1-0 lead. That has carried into the midway point of this hockey game. Less than 12 minutes to go in the second period. Puck wanders offsides, and we'll get a neutral zone face-off here. UMass Lowell has been stymied here offensively, Jim. A couple chances have gone begging. How can they finally build some momentum against Albin Boya, who we've barely seen on the other end?
Yeah, it's establishing, really. It's establishing the neutral zone. It's establishing the forecheck, neither of which they have gotten going in. And this has become, you mentioned it, it's become a very disjointed second period. Tons of whistles, so you don't get that flow that you love to have in a game. Usually that's taken away by penalties, and we haven't had one.
Frankly, the disjointed action has helped UMass Lowell a little bit in this period. Nearly a dunk chance in front by Dylan Bentley, always measured by Albin Boya. Things were wide open in the first. It was really opting into Maine's favor. Scholey outnumbered in the corner, played it back to the point, crisscross in front, Maine doubles up the lead. More traffic in front, created by the Black Bears. It's Charlie Russell leading the line, his 6th of the season.
You referenced that Lowell is a good team that makes something out of nothing. Maine does that exact thing right here, just sending a puck toward the net. There wasn't a lot of purpose when the puck headed toward the net, but it created a huge rebound out front. Nobody picked up Charlie Russell, and he's able to get that backhander right under the crossbar. But this is a harmless-looking puck that gets taken to the net, and it's Russell who does the real dirty work, sitting there in the slot. Johnny on the spot lifts it under the crossbar, a 2-0 lead.
When I asked Ben Barr about how Charlie Russell is uniquely positioned in this program, he said, as a compliment, he does what we ask all of our forwards to do. He's such an interchangeable player. Hand pass called here. That will freeze it. So it makes him interchangeable. The fact that he can play with just about anybody on the team means that he's an invaluable piece.
He feels like it too, and you see him on the ice. He's not just about the offensive side. He's really responsible, but you see his drive, and he'll do the dirty work. He'll go to the dirty areas, get those types of goals, and his 6th of the season, that's a big, big goal for this Maine team, as Lowell had nice pushback, but Maine gets that one to take the 2-goal lead.
With the disjointed play and the lack of chances for UMass Lowell, this feels like a big lead for Maine on the road, and a great way to break out of the bye week. Coming off those 2 losses to Providence, Ben Barr's team has a 2-0 lead in the first of 2 this weekend here at Songus. Peterson swinging away at it at center for Maine. And here come the Black Bears again. Bichette took the penalty back in the first period. Successful kill for the Black Bears. The only special teams action we've seen so far. UMass Lowell hungry for more chances here. We've passed the halfway mark in this hockey game. 2 teams sitting 7th and 8th in the 11-team Hockey East standings, below lofty expectations for these outstanding head coaches, trying to build some momentum for the last 7 weeks of the regular season. Hard to believe we're already talking about bracketology. Who's in, who's out. Right now, both of these teams would be out without a league championship, but still plenty of time to build the resume with big teams on the schedule ahead.
And Lowell, they may be in a tougher position. Maine, they're sitting in the mid-20s in the NPI, the new ranking system that has replaced the pairwise. They need good weekends. You have to have 6-point weekends right now if you're Maine or Lowell. Either of these teams want to get back into the national picture.
This is also a tough stretch for Maine. 5th of 6 games on the road. Ben Barr said it's one of the longest road stretches of his career, but the bye week in between help give his team a little bit of a break. Rest, recovery, and a shift in mindset. It's been paying dividends here on the road. Poirier, leading scorer in the league, gets stopped. Tried to go 5-hole on Austin Elliott. Trip and a fall there by Miskey, back up to his feet, no call. Relatively clean game here. Bobby Esposito, Ryan Siegel wearing the orange armbands as referees tonight. Kevin Briganti and Anthony Valley patrolling the lines. Up go the Black Bears, trying to stretch past to Russell. It goes all the way down to Elliott, teeing up his teammates, but Maine rallies to the puck again. Scholey did the splits in the corner. Riverhawks connect a pass through center. Alan Wakely lost the possession. Good back check again by Maine. Protecting Albin Boya. Black Bears flip it out again through Jeremy Langlois, who's played some good hockey here on the road tonight. Icing called. 7:41 to go in the second period, and some tired legs will stay out there. Well, we're talking about the postseason. Might as well talk about championship weekend in Hockey East. The 2026 Hockey East Men's Championship back at TD Garden. Where else? Friday, March 20th, Saturday, March 21st. Don't miss out on the most competitive conference tournament in the country. All 11 teams battle for the Lamorello Trophy. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. One and done. It has changed the tenor of the entire tournament, and it's one of the reasons why teams hate to see Maine, especially last year when they took it all the way to the championship, and UMass Lowell, who make you do the dirty work. And frankly, when you're tired, when it's late in the season and you might be a bottom half team, Jim, commitment is questionable.
There's no doubt about that. Nice save there.
Peterson got stopped by Elliott. 7:20 to go in the second period. Maine has doubled up the lead. Brock James in the first, Charlie Russell in the second. Great start to a weekend on the road for the Black Bears. This is Friday Night Hockey East on NESN.
Welcome back inside the Tsongas Center. 2-0 lead for the Black Bears here, and Maine forward Owen Fowler in his second season with the Black Bears actually started his college career right here in Lowell with the Riverhawks. Now, he transferred after his sophomore year, but he says every game on the road, especially around Boston, kind of has a homecoming feel. He said, of course, tonight here in Lowell, he has at least 15 friends and family in the stands. His parents come to every game, home and away, even the Denver trip the parents made. But he says organizing the tickets ahead of time gets fun, but of course loves the support no matter where he plays. And Kevin, he certainly made an impact and found a home with this Maine team.
Yeah, he certainly did, Natalie. He was all smiles talking about this opportunity when we caught up with him this week. And a lot of credit to him. Got off to a rough start after transferring and has really stepped into a role as one of the guys for Maine. 7 goals, 6 assists, and Jim, if he pots one tonight, this place is going to go wild.
They go up to Orono, too. They love him up there. You know, even when you're just out and about, you hear people talk about the Fowlers.
Really snaked one in front there to Charlie Russell, looking for a brace, his second of the night. This is a nice line they've put together. Top line, Fowler, Scholey, and Russell. Shot from up high. That was a blistering one, just off target. Elliott, a little awkwardly getting up, got his stick stuck against TJ Schweigart. Elliott, despite a lot more shots from Maine, has looked good between the pipes, giving up a couple on some really pretty passes out front. Buttazzoni got pushed off the puck, playing without his brother in this game. Tanias Mathurin also out for a while. The Wings draftee has been out since December, so a couple missing pieces here for UMass Lowell. One of the reasons why they added Ryan Kroll. He's the extra D-man tonight.
That one will go for icing. As the Black Bears, since their goal has had, this has been good pushback, because we saw Lowell really pushing. They had their good running time, good lead time in the zone, but once Maine scores that goal, everything has been down at the Lowell defensive end since that point. And this Maine team, you almost feel like they know when they get the jugular sometimes, and they're ready to go for it.
Leading Hockey East in goals per game, better than 3.5 per contest, and they've outshot their opponent nearly 80% of the time, as that one's just off target. chance to land a potential knockout blow here in the second period. Overloading that left side. Shot from up high, good block by Diego Buttazzoni. Usoro stepped in, now wraps. Up high, good handle, Chabrier, shot pass. Peluso was engaged in front. James hits the brakes out of the corner. Nice shape here for Maine. Up to the point. Back down low, hard kick off the back wall. Chabrier's got it. Peluso sends it back his way. Chabrier, kick save, fat rebound off the outside of the pipe, and Elliott's there again. Good positioning, pipe to pipe, as the scrum continues in front of Elliott. We have a couple face masks stuck together here. The Black Bears and the Riverhawks going nose to nose. Gerrois had to be separated, and we step aside. 2-0 lead. Friday Night Hockey East on Nesson, Maine with a 2-0 lead here at UMass Lowell. And when we say these teams are going nose to nose, we mean it. This is the occupational hazard with the face shields and the face masks. Gerrois and Wakely all tied up in like a couple bucks out in the wilderness.
That's a little bit more work than the linesmen have to bargain for.
Punched out of the air, blocker save by Austin Elliott. Not many whistles in this game, just one penalty. They are letting the player settle it, and right on cue, announcers jinx, UMass Lowell's going on the power play.
Stick into the skates right there, and the Riverhawks will get their second look with the man advantage.
Maine, minor penalty, number 27, 2 minutes, tripping.
Max Scott grew up in Sharks territory out in San Jose, California, and Jimmy, this is what the Riverhawks desperately needed.
They do. Just one of those accidental, intentional trips. You know, your stick's in the skates. You don't want to take the guy down, but you do. You're going to end up going for 2 minutes, and with 5 minutes here, 4:59 left, this is a huge moment in the game.
A rare face-off win for the Riverhawks. Great way to start the 5-on-4 as Ahern lost it in the slot.
But there it is again. You get the puck right into that bumper position, and Maine is there in your face.
Warren Bazin has said it over and over. Goals are nice, but more than anything, we just don't want to lose momentum 5-on-4. Chances are one thing, but even if it builds a little belief as we go back to 5-on-5, we will take it. And that's exactly what UMass Lowell needs here, down 2. Off the half wall, Bentley measuring his options. Down low. Shoot the puck, shouted from the stands here at Tsongas. Payne felt a little pressure up high. Played down to the goal line. Ahern playing catch here, back and forth. Off the outside of the pipe. Good look there from Ahern. Went to the opposite post. And it won't go in the books as a shot, but one of the best chances we've seen for the Riverhawks.
Second time tonight that Ahern has hit a post.
Blazing in now. Second unit out there. Playing with a little more speed. Nemec drops it down for Diego Buttazzoni. Left the pass. Played up to Buttazzoni. Sidesteps a check. Feeds it far side. Schweigart shoots. Off a deflection. Langlois got a stick in front of Boya. Nearly some friendly fire in front. Popped out of the air by Wakely. Kept in by Buttazzoni. Shipley can't reach it. Russell, 2-on-1. Shorthanded chance. Offload. Shot goes wide. Scholey missed the target.
Great look there and a fantastic feed there from Russell. Perfect pass across and just missing the net there. Scholey, he had a lot of room to shoot at.
All situations, Charlie Russell is an asset. That goes clean out of play.
Shows how dangerous this Maine penalty kill can be.
So another successful kill for Maine, but this was a near chance on the doorstep.
Yeah, that was one of the first pucks that you really felt that Lowell took to the net on that power play. They stayed to the outside too often. Then this 2-on-1 shorthanded the other way. Sully Scholey just pulls that one wide of the right post there.
Another missed opportunity for UMass Lowell. But in Norm Bazin's word, I think it's safe to say they built a little momentum there.
A little bit. You know, they for sure held on to the puck and had more zone time on that power play than the first. Did they get the shots they want? Maybe not. I do think that Ahern look really is, that's the message that Norm Bazin's got to be talking to this power play about. You got to get some pucks toward the net. You got to get some bodies toward the net. Being on the perimeter on a power play is not very effective.
Like both those units were measuring quality over quantity. Albin Boya's shutout remains intact. He hasn't been tested much. Good way to settle in. One of the best goaltenders in league who's been rattled this season. Played better than 2,300 minutes last year, more than any other goalie. He was a no-doubter each and every night. What a feed on the saucer to Maury. Oh, it bounced off his helmet. Couldn't do that if you tried. It goes out of play with 2:05 to go in the second.
A little pushing and shoving afterwards. But again, this has been a very clean game. Both of these teams I consider some of the cleaner, more disciplined teams. You know, we talked about the fight that we had last week between a BU Terrier and Connor Eddy from UMass Lowell. But in general, these are two pretty disciplined teams.
Norm Bazin said it happens at every level of hockey except college. You see it in juniors up north of the border. We wondered if some of the CHL players may bring that down south of the border. So it was a surprise that when you had two players going at it, BU and UMass Lowell last week, they're both collegiate players through and through.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was expecting to go to the box score and find two CHL names.
Not the case. Clearly something boiled over when they were both in the box. Here's a chance from the sharp angle. Delaney digging away at it. And Boya's like, ho-hum, I've got it again. And the less drama that Boya faces, the better. He had a 1.82 goals against last season. The only guy better, Jacob Fowler from BC, who's gone on to the pro ranks. And even though Boya's stats aren't there, that is not a guy you want to face in a one-and-done situation down the stretch.
I agree with you there, Kevin. I think if you put him in a situation, he starts to really get the feel, get going, and feel like every night he's as solid as he was last season. You know, I know that Ben Barr has tried to give him some time off this year. Mathis Russo is the backup. He has seen almost as much time as Boya has, and he's been serviceable for sure. But I know that Ben Barr knows he needs Albin Boya to be going come postseason time.
Yeah, Russo gave his team a chance last time they went to the rink, Saturday, January 10th, career high 29 saves for Russo. That was a 3-1 loss at Providence. Much closer of the two games. It was certainly lopsided for the Friars, and Nate Lehman may have the hottest team in Hockey East right now. Offsides, 1:10 to go in the second period, and throw out the rankings. You look at the standings, there is so much opportunity for teams up and down the league. Like you said, if you get a couple 6-point weekends, a sweep here or there, you're climbing 4 or 5 spots at a time.
Yeah, that's what the standings have kind of brought to us now. You look at UConn, they're in first place. They have a 3-point lead, but they don't play league games this weekend. They're the team that is on their bye. They're playing in the Connecticut Ice Tournament, so non-conference play. It's opportunity for everybody else to move. It just feels like every single weekend we're going to see a ton of movement in the Hockey East standings because things are just that accordion-like packed.
UConn taking on Yale at the Whale tonight in New Haven to start off that Connecticut Ice Tournament between the 4 teams in Connecticut. Less than a minute to go in the second period. Still a 2-0 lead for Maine. Black Bears looking for more. Good shape here, 5-on-5. Bounced off of Charlie Russell, who has been everywhere in the second period. Fowler, the UMass Lowell transfer, just got sandwiched in the corner by a couple current Riverhawks. Diego Buttazzoni chasing. Peterson swings it around the near side wall. Fowler stopped it, sandwiched again. Marked man here late, 2-on-1 chance for Maine. Russell, pass denied. Great defense by Josh Maury. Now a chance on the follow, got through the legs of Elliott, spun around and covered. Peterson went barreling into the crease. Officials pointing his way, And this might be a penalty on Maine.
I think it's actually going to be on the Riverhawks for pushing Peterson in.
Wow.
This will be Ryan Kroll, I believe.
Libor Nemec.
No, Nemec, I'm sorry.
The call
Stepping
in.
in.
This is a 5-minute major game misconduct to number 20 for UMass for checking from behind.
Wow.
We're under official review.
This would be killer for UMass Lowell. Libor Nemec has been playing some of his best hockey.
That's close. That's really close. There's certain intent, and that's usually what you're looking for when you're thinking about a major. It's where you are on the ice, how the hit is made, and what the intent is. And you see there's an extension. When the player extends his arm the way he does, he certainly has intent to drill that player. Now, you've called hit from behind here. Was this from behind? That's the big question. Is this actually from behind? And you also have to look at Fowler starts this. Fowler checks Nemec. Nemec then, as he's going, hits Peterson. There's some chain reaction in here as well.
I was going to say it looked like dominoes. The low ice version gave us a great look of Fowler initiating the contact, and it was like tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, let's look at the blue jersey coming in right there. He hits Nemec, and then Nemec extends and hits Peterson. But I'm actually thinking that this is a little bit of a chain reaction crash here as much as anything. This might stand as a 2-minute penalty.
Call on the ice stands. Number 20 will be assessed a 5-minute major game misconduct for hitting from behind.
Wow.
They're going to say this one stands. I want to look at it from this angle here. You see Fowler come in. He gives the shove. I'm having a hard time maybe agreeing with that one, because it does look like Nemec was out of control when he actually was hit from behind, and that's what starts the hit. So it will be a 5-minute major power play here for the last 10 seconds of this period and the first 4:50 of the third period. Certainly not an ideal situation here for the Riverhawks.
Nemec was furious as he left the ice, smashed his stick. Now Norm Bazin is letting the officials know he feels like he just cannot catch a break right now after Connor Eddy got the additional 2-game suspension. He's already missing that senior forward, and now Libor Nemec, the valuable Slovakian forward, is done for the game. And a 5-minute major power play for Maine. They can score as many times as possible here and really wipe away any chances as we head into the third period. Wow. Devastating call for UMass Lowell.
It is, and you think about how successful this Maine power play was last time these two teams played. 3 goals on the man advantage. They hadn't had a power play in this game, and then the first one that is whistled on the Riverhawks, a major penalty. So it'll be a tough climb ahead for this Riverhawks team in the third period.
Whole lot to talk about coming up on the Boston Children's Hospital intermission. An interview with another goal scorer, Maine's Charlie Russell. Just picked up his 6th of the season. We've mentioned bracketology, and so we'll take a look at the NPI. That's the magic formula for teams heading into the NCAA tournament. Charlie Russell standing alongside Natalie Norrie.
Charlie, first game back for your team after a bye week and a 2-0 lead here on the road. What do you think about your team's play through 2 periods?
Yeah, we had a good 2 weeks of practice. Pretty good first period. I think we took it to a that period, so we just got to keep it going in the third.
How important was it to extend the lead as you head into the third period?
Yeah, it's huge. The next one's going to be big, whether it's going to be 2-1 or 3-0, so the next one's going to be huge.
Yeah, your team has 4 minutes, 50 seconds on the power play to kick things off. What needs to happen to capitalize there and get the lead even further?
I mean, I think it just comes down to work ethic. I think what you want to do on a 5-minute major is you might want to just pass it around the outside for 5 minutes. So I think it's important to get shots to the net and keep the work ethic up.
All right, Charlie, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No let up from Charlie Russell. He's got a plan for the major penalty time ahead. 2-0 lead for Maine here at UMass Lowell. Stay with us. 2 teams going nose to nose. Friday Night Hockey East on Nesson heating up here at Lowell, Mass. on Nesson. It has been all Maine Black Bears on the road. First of two this weekend here inside the Tsongas Center. UMass Lowell victimized by a 5-minute major and game misconduct penalty called against Libor Nemec in the final 10 seconds of the second period. 4 minutes and 50 seconds of major power play time for Maine when we come back. Jim, you look at the stats, Maine has controlled the action. Special teams have not helped get UMass Lowell back in this game, and now they have to kill essentially unlimited power play time here for the better part of 4 minutes. This is a major uphill climb now in the third.
It is, you know, and even looking at some of these stats, shots had started to level off as we were at the midway point of that period. Face-offs had started to level off. At the end of the period, they were even. Maine was +9 at the end of the first. They ended up +9 at the end of the second, but Lowell had gotten that number much closer at one point in that period. So the period was good for 10 minutes for the Riverhawks, but as soon as Maine had that answer, as soon as they had the goal with about 11 minutes left in that period, that was all Black Bears from the end. And now, as you said, Kevin, this is going to be tough, trying to kill a major here to start the third period when you're trying to get your offense going.
What did you think of Charlie Russell's message to our own Natalie Norrie coming off the ice about a work ethic on a nearly 5-minute power play, not settling for perimeter passes, just killing time sitting on a lead?
I mean, that's the right message, right? You don't want to be sitting back. Any team that sits back on a lead in college hockey and Hockey East especially, it seems like it's a formula for disaster. And I think that this power play coming up, you know, Maine has the chance to put this game away, but Lowell, don't forget, I mentioned Maine's a good shorthanded team. Lowell, 5 shorthanded goals in this season, so it's not like they don't have the ability to counterattack when they're shorthanded. That'll be something that I'm sure Norm Bazin's talking about, but it is a tough climb that's ahead of this Riverhawks team.
Coach Bazin was barking at the officials heading off the ice into the second intermission. Riverhawks will have a tough battle ahead in the third period. 2-0 deficit here at home. Stay with us. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson. Welcome back to the Boston Children's Hospital intermission. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson. It's all Maine right now after 2 periods. 2-0 lead here at UMass Lowell. Still 4:50 to go on that major penalty time against UMass Lowell. Black Bears will get to run their power play over and over to start the third period. We're creeping in on the end of the regular season. 7 weeks to go. The NPI into clear focus now. Second season for this ranking system. Jim, this is how we set the NCAA tournament field. And I see Michigan and Michigan State right back at the top out of the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Western feel, that first page. If you look at it, you only see 2 Eastern teams on there, Dartmouth and Quinnipiac down at 8 and 9. But this is a really heavy Western field. I do a bracketology column on USCHO, and you know, every single host of a regional #1 seed, I should say, is going to be a team from the West. So you're talking about probably having Michigan and maybe Minnesota Duluth coming out east for an NCAA tournament. So that's just part of the reality. On the second page of this this NPI, you'll see we get into some Hockey East teams. You see Providence, they got that sweep over Boston College, really solidified their position with a 55-20 NPI. Their distance between them and St. Thomas is actually pretty significant right now. The other one you can see there, Boston College, they lost last week. Basically lost 2 games, but one of them was in overtime at home, so not as punishing for the Eagles. They did not only did they not go down in the NPI, they actually went up 2 spots with their losses last week. Everybody around them had a tough week as well, but you're seeing some new names in there. St. Thomas, Augustana, they're both trying to make their first NCAA tournament appearance. So as we look at this bubble, there's so much of interest for every single conference out there, but Hockey East is a lot of worry about how many teams are going to get in this field.
And some opportunities if somebody can climb out of this pack from Hockey East, from the Northeast. Opportunities to host in Worcester, Mass, and Albany, New York, but a long way to go to get up to those top 4 seeds. Right now, it's all about getting into the dance and making it stick. NPI rankings, we'll be talking a lot about these in the weeks to come, but for now, the lights are out here at UMass Lowell. These Riverhawk fans won't stop believing, but their team has to kill off a 4-minute, 50-second major penalty when we come back to start the third. 2-0 lead for Maine here at UMass Lowell. 1-0 lead for the Black Bears after one. Couple quality chances to start the second. UMass Lowell had a little bit more punch in the offense, but eventually the Black Bears doubled up the lead and then earned a critical major penalty against the Riverhawks.
Yeah, that's one of the big parts here is the fact that you don't just have a 2-0 lead, Maine, but you now have 5 minutes virtually. It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds of power play time here to start the third period. It was Libor Nemec that ended up getting the penalty. Here it is. That's the call. He got hit from behind. His body then went into Maine player. That was the call. A major penalty for hitting from behind. And a game misconduct from Nemec. So you see the frustration. This Lowell team, it's an uphill battle.
Maine Black Bears with a chance to put this game out of reach in the next few minutes. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Natalie Norrie, downstairs.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, John O'Connor from the Maine Black Bears just spoke with us, and he said, the first period, he thought we played a very complete game. Second period, got away from our game a little bit, found it towards the end, but the key to the third is getting in our forechecking game, just grind it out. He said all two of our goals up to this point happened from broken plays, so we just need to continue to do that. As for starting this period on a power play, this is the first power play we're seeing this game, so connectivity is a huge thing for us, creating momentum and sustaining it through the remaining 4.5 minutes, Kevin.
All right, Natalie, thanks so much. I'm Kevin Gale with Jim Connolly. Sholey delivers a feed out front, and Marcus nearly found the top corner. 5-on-4 for a whole lot of time here. Maine up 2 goals. Chance to score as many as possible. Friel loses out on a joust to Schweighardt, who denied the chance in front. And the Black Bears power play that has relied on Nadeau, Holt, and Scott is without. Josh Nadeau left out of the mix tonight. Still plenty of depth of scoring here and plenty of time to develop chances.
Yeah, this is a power play that's, when it's going, it can be a really big weapon for this Maine team. We've mentioned it, 3 goals the first time these two teams played against each other in Portland right before the end of the first half.
Maine trying to make it 7 wins in a row against UMass Lowell. Scott asked to leave the circle. Owen Fowler, the UMass Lowell transfer, who got sandwiched a couple times with checks in the second period. Welcome back to Songus. Another face-off win for the Black Bears. They've been dominant at the dot. Played in deep for Scott, walled off by Morey. Langlois off the blue line. Caught out of the air. Nice grab there by Ahern. Plays it all the way down. Ahern never at a loss for words. Great experience on this team. A transfer from Niagara. AHA has been good to Norm Bazin squad. Here's a chance for Langlois in the slot. Blocked. Adazinski laid out. Parks with a shorthanded chance.
Adazinski was a player that Norm Bazin pointed out would have to be a penalty killer this week with Connor Eddy out of the lineup.
Adazinski played well in that last game against Maine. That was a thriller up in Portland. Much different tenor to that game. 9 goals combined into overtime. It was a shootout. Defense not at its best. This is more what we come to expect from Maine and UMass Lowell. Tight defenses, blue-collar hockey, and heavy around the edges of the rink. No time pressure here on Maine. Still 3:05 to go on that major penalty time and game misconduct to Libor Nemec.
This power play has not had that.
Here's another catch and a chance for Varwerk shorthanded. In a race with Poirier, Varwerk taken down, no call. Boya got the stop. Maine goes back up ice.
Just starting to say that Maine didn't look like they had a lot of urgency to this power play.
Poirier wanted the one-timer, gives it up to Varwerk. Marcus grabs it right back for Maine. Holt from the blue line. Finds Poirier. Through traffic, kicked off the skate of Friel, out of play for a face-off. Couple chances here for UMass Lowell, a team that historically scores well shorthanded.
Yeah, UMass Lowell does not mind taking the chance, but look at Poirier. He makes that pass across to Holt that gets picked off, and then he hustles right back into the play. That should have been a breakaway for Jack Varwerk, but credit Justin Poirier. As much as we talk about his offensive skill, his ability to get back into the play defensively is what sets him apart.
Teams have been hard on him away from the puck, trying to take him out of games, and that physicality has ramped up his defensive play. One-timer blasted by Langlois. Fowler was out front. Maine keeps the zone. Langlois, after his sizzling shot, takes another. Oh, what a block. Langlois offloads and another deflection.
Adazinski's feeling that block. He's trying to get off the ice, but he can't.
Oh, Adazinski, so selfless. The freshman from BC is going to be bruised. Broken stick. Scott plays it with his feet. He has to get off the ice. 4-on-4 momentarily.
That was like a mash unit out there, a broken stick. Yeah, Adazinski was limping off to the bench, just trying to get off after taking that one. It looked like he got in the kidney area on that block.
Oh, so far so good on this PK. If UMass Lowell can get out of this major penalty without giving up a goal, that will be all the momentum that Norm Bazen's been looking for from his special teams tonight.
In Maine has not really given themselves a ton of momentum here to start the third. They have not had the looks this power play hopes for.
That's why Charlie Russell was saying, don't be lethargic. Sholey slicing through, gets nudged off by Morey. I really like that underclassman. Made some great plays defensively tonight, and Maine is hustling to create more chances. Back in 5-on-4. Swing and a miss by Marcus. Poked free by Delaney. Forces the reset. Trips up Poirier. Play on. Poirier spun off by Kroll in his first collegiate game. Out there killing a penalty. Asking the extra D-man to do everything. Fowler pushed it in front. And a chance to break out for Varwerk. Around Langlois, shorthanded, he's hit, draws the penalty. What an incredible penalty kill by UMass Lowell.
Credit to Jack Varwerk. He didn't do it the first time when he tried to get a breakaway. This time he was able to draw the penalty.
Maine number 7, minor penalty for holding.
Holding the call, so that power play is now over for the Black Bears. Just 18 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, and then the Riverhawks will get a much-needed man advantage for themselves. Great work here by Varwerk, just doing everything. Maybe gave a little bit of a help there. Made sure that the referee knew that it wasn't easy and that he was hooked. Held, whatever word you want to use. But regardless, the effort, keeping your feet moving, keeping that tenacious forecheck when you're killing penalties. That is what Jack Varwerk does so well.
2 key breakaway shorthanded chances taken out of Mike Greer's book back in his day. Just get down there on the PK with the breakaway and see if you can create some chaos. Face-off won by the Black Bears. 4-on-4 for the next 12 seconds. The forecheck pressure applied here by UMass Lowell. 5-minute major penalty burned off. Now it's 5-on-4 for the Riverhawks. And a whistle here will bring us a neutral zone face-off with 15:07 to go. And Jimmy, the Riverhawks aren't done yet.
Yeah, this is a really key next minute and 39 seconds here. We'll start with the center ice face-off after the offside by Maine. But the ability to maybe get in, get a power play set up here. Even if you don't score, you want to get some momentum.
Momentum and then some for UMass Lowell. 2-0, the most dangerous lead in hockey. Here's a chance for the Riverhawks off the face-off win. Shipley scrambling for the puck. Maine's got it with Owen Fowler. Back to the middle. Tewksbury native lost the possession. On comes Luke Shipley. Diego Buttazzoni. Flips it up top. That's Shipley. Back to Buttazzoni. Another methodical power play here for the Riverhawks. Shot up high off the outside of the post. Nice idea there by Wakely. Another stick goes down. Diego Buttazzoni's got it outside the circle. Buttazzoni flips, Shipley back to him. Buttazzoni working hard on this right side. Shipley back to him, one-timer, oh, off the pipe again! Inches away for Diego Buttazzoni.
That cannon of a one-timer that is so strong from the right point. Again, he has done that a number of times this season.
Buttazzoni inches away from his third career goal. He scored against BC and the defending national champs from Western. He's delivered in some big spots.
That Western Michigan goal from the exact same spot on the ice on the power play in the third period back then. It almost feels like a deja vu moment right there.
Power play time is over. Teams are a combined 4 for 4 on the PK. Shoulder down by Boya. Scrambling for the first time in this game. UMass Lowell has heated him up. Flung in from the blue line, and now Holt can race. Right down the middle. Now pushed out by Payne, nobody there. Flipped up to the blue line, Giroir. Gave it up to Delaney. UMass Lowell looking for numbers. Peterson, who drew the major penalty. Swing and a miss, gently undercut by Giroir.
Simple play there by Giroir, though, takes that scoring opportunity away.
James cross-ice feed underneath Peterson. He's got it behind the cage, out front to James, and clutched by Jack Varwerk, a utility player who's been a coach's dream. Playing some key minutes here, all situations. We've seen it all, 5-on-5, major penalty kill, power play time. Peluso, little self-pass. Trailer couldn't connect. Maine keeps the possession, still leading by 2. Shot in tight by Giroir, stayed in the rink. Adazinski, who blocked 2 booming shots on that major PK. Pass through center, Peluso has to backtrack. Drasevich, big body, 6'2", 200+ pounds. He's had a whole bunch of block shots in his Maine career.
You can see the Black Bears as Lowell tried to get some momentum. They're settling things down by just playing their puck possession game.
Possession denied by Luke Shipley. He's got it back with Langlois as Elliott covers up. He had a whole bunch of bodies in front of him, and Elliott stays so calm despite the chance. 11:29 to go. It looked like going into the third period, UMass Lowell would get swept away on the major PK. Wasn't meant to be, and Diego Buttazzoni nearly cut into the Maine lead. Chances abound for the Riverhawks. Not done yet. 11:29 to go in regulation. Maine up 2-0 here at UMass Lowell. Albin Boya's got a shutout going with 19 saves, and the posts behind him have 3 saves of their own.
3 solid posts tonight. Every one of them hitting the same post. It would be the one to the right shoulder of the goaltender Boya. He can kiss that post at either end of the ice. It's been friendly to him.
As much as UMass Lowell has struggled offensively tonight, they've been inches away from a 3-2 lead. Tsongas center crowd just looking for something to latch onto. They loved the major penalty kill, and now UMass Lowell's going back on the advantage.
And this is one, see what the call is here. This one happened right along the boards, and the officials are talking this one over.
Pachette's going away for the second time.
Penalty, number 28, 2 minutes boarding.
So boarding, a minor penalty here is the call, boarding. It was down below us, so I couldn't get a really clean hit. I could tell it was something along the boards here.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Just a minor, they're going to say, and there was a little bit of distance there between the boards, so not one that you're jarring the head of the opposing player in.
Great look on the replay, and Bobby Esposito had it measured for the immediate call. UMass Lowell's going to get a 4th chance on the power play in this game. 0 for 3. Neither team has scored on the man advantage.
First face-off, so important.
And it's won by the Riverhawks. Payne out there to get it started on the man advantage. Jim Connolly said Jay Ahern is due. Varwerk plays it up top. Varwerk, one-timer, nice block. Owen Fowler, the UMass Lowell transfer, gets it down.
Great block by Fowler there.
UML chant here at Songus. These Riverhawk fans want to create some atmosphere. Clean sheet for Boya in net. Ahern scrapping away along the wall. Chabrier grabs it and swept out.
Good penalty kill by Maine, just aggressive on the pucks. When Lowell's trying to get possession along the wall, Maine's ready to send that attacker in on the penalty kill. Clear it out.
Fowler playing it with some extra jam here, shorthanded. Forces a mistake on the forecheck. That killed a little bit of time, but now room for Varwerk. Up the left wing wall, Ahern joining him. Puck goes out to neutral ice again. It's been tough for UMass Lowell to set up this power play. They've been methodical on their previous 3 chances. Very deliberate, very few shots from the perimeter. And now they're just trying to gain the zone. Schweighardt slides it ahead to Shipley, and it's sent right back out by the Black Bears, who send Charlie Russell in to chase.
The Lowell breakout is so dependent on coming in with speed and making that first pass. When you don't connect on that first pass, we're going to get another penalty here on Maine, by the way. This one was a open ice hit. Kneeing is the call.
Buttazzoni drew it near center ice.
So we'll have 10 seconds of 5-on-3.
Maine number 11, minor penalty for kneeing.
And a smart play by the Riverhawks to get a shot in on Boya, get the touch, stop it, and set up 10 seconds of 5-on-3 time.
Take as much 5-on-3 time as you possibly can, as we see the collision there with Buttazzoni out in the neutral zone area. Bobby Esposito, the referee, trying to, you see Ben Barr is wisely trying to make sure his penalty killers get as much rest as they can, send them out there slowly, but Bobby Esposito wants them out there now, and we're going to get them set up.
Maine has been in complete control of this game since early in the first period, but the penalties have been costly. Now 5 trips to the box and a 5-on-3 for UMass Lowell. Still looking for that first goal, but a critical PK face-off win for the Black Bears.
And that wasn't all the center. That was his wingers in there, getting in there and working to win that face-off. A huge shorthanded face-off win.
Bichette out of the box. The team game on the face-off pays dividends again for Maine. It's 5-on-4 time for the next 137. Delaney angling toward the front of the net. Ahern goes with him. One-timer, big rebound out to the near side. Payne's got it. Delaney slips it far side, stopped by Boya, and sizzled down the rink.
2 opportunities to shoot off the pass. That I know something that Norm Bazin says is a critical factor to this power play, getting that shot off the pass, but 2 saves by Boya.
Keep it simple, move it, create chaos, and shoot. UMass Lowell didn't do that much on the first couple power play chances. Usoro swings it around, but not out. Parks digging at it. Played to Dallin Wakely. Diego Buttazzoni drew the kneeing penalty. Parks tosses his Black Bear aside, and down it goes to Austin Elliott. Credit to Austin Elliott, who did a lot to keep his team within reach. Still down 2 with less than 8 minutes to go. Buttazzoni steps around to check. He's back in the offensive zone. Slides it to Schweighardt. The D-man plays it into the circle. Back to Schweighardt. Down low, indirect pass to Parks. Leaves it for Wakely. Wakely back to Schweighardt. Shot in from distance, deflected out front by Jurasevich. UMass Lowell keeps final seconds of the power play. Clanked off the back wall. Back to 5-on-5. McDonald to the doorstep. Parks, far side, and lost out of the zone. Long chase for Wakely, gives it up. Chance in on Elliott, stopped. Austin Elliott up to the test. Charlie Russell that close to his second. penalty kills stay perfect. 6 for 6 between these two teams. UMass Lowell now 0 for 5 on the power play. It's still Maine up 2 late in the third. Stay up to date on the latest news and scores from the league by following at hockey_east on X and Instagram. Visit hockeyeastonline.com for scores, stats, watch links, and ticket information for all Hockey East games. Less than 7 minutes to go here in Lowell, Mass. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson. Despite a whole lot of chances on the power play, UMass Lowell still down 2-0 against the defending champs from Maine. I'm Kevin Gale with Jim Connolly and Natalie Norrie. Here's another chance from the Riverhawks, and Albin Boya smothers, covers, call him Waffle House.
He is certainly playing one of his better games of this year. Boya has not seen the shots, but he has seen some quality shots here, especially in the third with all of the power plays by the Riverhawks. This one just, with the traffic that's in front of him, you have a Lowell player right there on the doorstep. That's Adazinski in front. You had Langlois battling with Adazinski in front, takes up with some eyes, but great job there. Boya keeps with it.
Credit to UMass Lowell. Outshot, outchanced through much of the first and second periods. They've shown a lot more offensive firepower here in the third, developing momentum off their 5-on-4 into 5-on-5. That one deflected at the top of the house. Nice idea to Lee Parks, who's been busy in front of the cage. Still 6:10 to go here. Boya with the clean sheet. UMass Lowell trying to avoid a 7th straight loss to Maine. Bichette, he spent a lot of time in the sin bin. Elliott, no problem there. Tight to the pipe, not much there for Oscar Komarov. He had 3 goals through his first 8 games of the season, has cooled off offensively since then. And a Maine team that took a much-needed bye week after a sweep at the hands of Providence, one of the hottest teams in the league, is back to their controlling blue-collar brand of hockey on the road as Elliott scoops for a face-off, and that's the momentum that Ben Barr needed. Timeout on the ice, our final media timeout, 5:31 to go in regulation. The Maine Black Bears trying to reward their fans who made the trip down to Lowell this weekend. For more in-depth analysis and the latest news from around the league, tune into This Week in Hockey East. New episodes air each and every Friday night at 6:30 on Nesson. 2-0 lead for the Maine Black Bears, ranked number 17 nationwide in Division I hockey. UMass Lowell has hung around. Elliott pushed that puck out of his crease. UMass Lowell recovers on defense, and Parks tried to connect a stretch pass to McDonald just out of his reach. Boya brave out of his cage. Junior got away with it as Parks whiffs on a chance. Miskey from the blue line funnels it in deep. All the way around to TJ Schweighardt, who got muscled off the puck by Chabrier. Usoro digging away for the Black Bears. And threaded out to Poirier, top scorer in the conference. Great feet ahead and stopped by Elliott. Marcus was in a little too tight to finish that chance. Nodded down to Peterson, kept the zone for Maine. Off the back wall, Scott on the wraparound chance. Elliott, good position again. Marcus serves it up to Poirier. One-timer, hold, blistering shot, punched wide. Peterson wound up, went down. Isn't carrying a lot of weight as a freshman. He's been tossed around on this ice tonight. Poirier swings, and what a block. Schweighardt paid the price. Credit to the Riverhawks. They have been giving up the body, down 2 goals the last 2 periods. Schweighardt is fighting his way off the sheet.
That's hard for him. We saw Adazinski go off earlier. He's been back since then, but 18th block of the game for the Riverhawks.
Schweighardt went straight to the room as Ahern nearly dunked it in near side. Oh, and an inadvertent whistle. That puck was still moving, and Chris Delaney gets robbed.
He was not happy. Delaney fired that puck into the corner. You got to be careful, even though that's an inadvertent whistle. Last thing you want to do is get a misconduct, but that is a quick whistle right there by the officials.
Ahern chirping, asking for an explanation. Our officials took responsibility right away. They know it.
Yeah, Boyer went to put the glove on and missed it. Would have been an opportunity for Delaney maybe to get a quick backhand wraparound.
Quick whistle because he's been so automatic getting his glove over the top of the puck tonight, just erasing plays, ending them quickly. False start there for Sully Scholey at the draw. Face-off advantage huge for Maine, 33-17 in this game. 4:01 to go. Riverhawks still have life, and Kevin Briganti's just got to drop this puck. UMass Lowell fans not happy tonight. Libor Nemec has been shown the door. Shipley swings and misses. Norm Bazen's been barking. Frustration boiling over here for a squad that is just 5-8 in league, looking to build some momentum. Shipley muscles out Owen Fowler. Scholey got to the puck first.
Holding
holding penalty called. This is going against Maine. A 6th penalty in this game, Jim.
This is crazy. You know, every time you see another one.
Penalty number 12, 2 minutes holding.
This one, Owen Fowler for holding, but every time that Maine is taking a penalty, they're just giving this Riverhawks team this life that they every time Lowell feels like they're giving the life back, Maine does something to take a penalty and give a little bit more hope to this Lowell team. We'll see if the goaltender stays in here for the Riverhawks, whether they'll go for the 2-man advantage. It looks like Norm Bazin, at least to start this power play, will keep Austin Elliott in the goal.
Maine just keeps taxing its PK unit. 5 for 5 in this game. Elliott stays in his cage. It remains 5-on-4 for now. Kept the puck moving, got it out of his gear. Good to see TJ Schweighardt back out there after taking that blistering shot off his body. Diego Buttazzoni's been a great option on the power play. Got hit by the captain, Thomas Friel. Swept around. Weekly trying to get it in deep here. Maine's waiting for it again and sizzled by Brandon Holt.
Good job by the Black Bears. First on the puck, and they quick down. As quick as they can, they've tried to clear this puck down, and this penalty kill has been successful tonight.
It's been impossible to get back in this game. 5-on-5 for UMass Lowell. They've had some good chances on the power play. 6th try at it here. Not for lack of trying. And this is great for Maine, just killing time. Austin Elliott stays in his net, less than 3 minutes to go. 1:02 to go on the power play. Russell dragged down. Riverhawks connecting passes behind the cage, but nobody at the point. Payne goes chasing back into his own end. Friel applying the pressure. Bentley flips a pass, far side to Delaney. In tight, far work, up high. Kicked off of Payne. Kept it in the zone for the Riverhawks. And Varwork can't win the battle. Played out by Brandon Holt. Goaltender is out. 2:03 to go. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. It is now 6-on-4. Bentley hits the brakes. No look pass. And again, no look to Ahern. Wasn't ready for it. Out it goes. Long chase for the puck. Payne. Nice handles. Got it around Komarov. Couple fans heading for the exit. Still some time for the Riverhawks. 90 seconds to go. 6-on-5 with the empty net. Consider it more PK time for Maine. That's all they've been doing here in the third. Varwork off the wall. Measuring. Down low. Varwork. Creeping in. McDonald, tough angle. Couldn't elevate it enough. Top side. Schweighardt. Delaney's turn. Always dangerous on the power play. A one-timer. Bounced off the back glass. Played out by Varwork. Another no-look. But on to the sticks of Maine. Flip toward the open net. Just wide. Inside the red line. No icing. Pichette. Behind the cage. Oh, missed the connection out front. And now a break for the Riverhawks. turned over in transition. Diego Buttazzoni, 36 seconds left, taken down. Payne pinched, no, lost it out of the zone, offsides.
Crazy sequence right there. It looked like Maine would come down with the empty net. They weren't able to do it. They actually got a little cycle going in their offensive zone.
Timeout, UMass Lowell.
It was a missed pass that allowed the puck to come back out to the center zone, and Lowell looked like they'd be able to break it up, but then another turnover. It's been a little bit of sloppiness when the Riverhawks have needed it most. You think about that 6-on-4, entering the zone. When you're entering the zone in a 6-on-4, really critical to make sure you're tape to tape as we see that empty net shot just go wide. But when you have a two-man advantage, 6-on-4 in an empty net, the one thing you have to be deliberate about is those tape-to-tape passes. No, you can't make the no-look passes, because if you don't connect, you know that that empty net is looming at the other end. A couple too many no-look blind passes for this Riverhawks team here late. Still have a breath of hope in them with 31 seconds left here.
It's hard to believe Maine controlled the first 2 periods of this game, but left so many opportunities out there for the Riverhawks late on the power play. UMass Lowell has been shut out 5 times this season. Danger of a 6th. Offense has been hit or miss. But man, when you go 0 for 6 on the power play,
that's a frustrating night.
Brutal. Final seconds for UMass Lowell, still down a pair. Boya out of his cage. He has certainly gotten back into form. Made some great stops on the PK. He was well protected by his blue liners. And the buy-in appears to be back for the Black Bears. One-timer from Payne, blocked again. The team that leads the league in blocks delivers in crunch time. Max Scott this time, brother of Harrison Scott. They're like clones of each other. What a pickup.
15th block for this Maine defense tonight. You put that, some of their numbers, 34 of 53 faceoffs won, and 6 for 6 on the penalty kill. The 15 blocks, all of the stats really support how well this Maine defense played tonight.
And statistically, best offense in the league. Hard to believe they're only 6-7, but only for the next 8 seconds. They're going to get back to 500 in league, and the defending champs break out of the bye week in style. Maine gets a shutout win thanks to Albin Boya in net. 2-0 on the road here at UMass Lowell. A first career goal in the first period by Brock James, the Mainer. A night he will never forget. Cashes in his 6th collegiate contest. Charlie Russell added the insurance in the second. It looked like Maine might flush this away early in the third with a 5-minute major penalty and game misconduct called against Libor Nemec. Somehow, the Riverhawks killed off that major penalty and generated 6 power play chances of their own, but couldn't convert.
They couldn't, and a lot of it goes back to Albin Boya, and we said it almost off the top. Albin Boya has not lived up to Albin Boya's numbers this year, and this is the type of performance I know that Ben Barr was looking for out of his goaltender. Albin Boya has to be the player that solidifies this Maine team down the stretch. This was a great start.
4th shutout this season for Albin Boya. Here's his head coach, Ben Barr, with our own Natalie Norton.
Well, Coach, a nice road win for your team, but what are your thoughts as the game went on here tonight?
I thought our guys played hard, but we're just such an immature team when it comes to, taking 4 or 5 penalties in the third period. It's just, it's frustrating. We make the game hard on ourselves. It's not, the guys are working. It's just, we have a hard time not shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit.
Now, how do you address that discipline, especially as you head into tomorrow?
Well, we'll talk about it, and it really just becomes an effort thing. It's easier to stick your stick out or hold a guy or whatever, and I don't think we'd have enough players to just sit everyone that takes penalties, or else we wouldn't have enough players to have a team tomorrow. So we got to figure it out, though.
On a positive note, Albin Boya with a shutout tonight. How much does that feed into his confidence?
Hopefully, he played well. I thought he was calm around the net. So it was good to see him. He stepped up big for us tonight.
All right, Coach. Congrats on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Natalie.
All right, Natalie Norrie, thanks so much. Maine Black Bears get their first win since January 2nd, and tomorrow they have an opportunity to make it 8 wins in a row against a gritty UMass Lowell squad. Puck drop 6:05 back here inside Songus. What a night. Maine had chances to pull away. UMass Lowell stayed in the fight, and the Black Bears hold on to the 2-0 win. My thanks to everyone for tuning in to Friday Night Hockey East on Nesson. For our entire production crew here at the Songus Center and my broadcast partners, Natalie Norrie and Jim Connolly, I'm Kevin Gale saying this has been a presentation of Hockey East on Nesson. Good night from Lowell, Mass.